fear anything. Can you say the same? Phases me. Punching a tunnel. First blood. Should have seen that coming. We've got an airstrike coming in. You're being aimed at. I need your every move.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Good evening to y'all. It's KaBlamDayud. Excuse me. But hey, welcome to episode 2 of the Mental Health Podcast. The first one was actually received very well and all that stuff. I wasn't expecting it to actually touch a good amount of people, but it actually did and stuff. And I'm actually happy about that. So, today, for the podcast, I'm going to be touching on a subject that basically, not only do I still kind of deal with today and everything, but I'm pretty sure everyone, at one point in their life and everything, has also dealt with this as well. And that's basically the enemy known as self-doubt. For I'm pretty sure everyone knows what self-doubt is, but for those of you who really don't know what it is, it's basically just the lack of confidence or the lack of faith in your own abilities to do what you need to do and stuff. And I never once had any kind of doubt in my abilities and all that stuff until literally I started like getting into, this whole and it ended up being it wasn't from Siege, Jason. It wasn't from Siege and all that stuff. It was actually Apex Legends. But I did actually make one with Siege ones and everything called Siege Tactics, but you'd find that on Norwood Beats. You'll find that on Norwood Beats. You won't find that on KaBlamDayud. But yeah, so getting back to the concept, getting back to freaking the subject at hand. So self-doubt is basically like the lack of confidence in or the lack of faith in your own ability to do what you need to do. I never once had this kind of problem until basically I started getting into the whole like internet debacle stuff and everything, and I started like trying to get my music out there and started to, just really try to put myself out there so that way I could, make my dreams come true and stuff. But it just never worked out that way and everything because of my self-doubt and everything. It's like, I know this shit's good. It's like, it's this feeling of like, I know this shit's good, right? I know this shit's good. I just need to put it out there and I need to freaking talk to people, get them to freaking get it. But I just don't know how to approach them and stuff. Like, it's that sense of doubt you have and everything. I don't know how to approach them. I don't know if they're going to freaking just reject it and all stuff. Like, you end up freaking thinking all this stuff beforehand before you even attempt to do it and all that stuff. That's why some people literally say, hey, you never know unless you really try it out. You can't just sit there and think all day, every day, like, oh man, are they really gonna like it or something? You won't know until you really put it out there. And it took me a long time to get that with me and everything. Like, heck, even when I first started making music, I didn't really freaking I didn't really release music until literally like my third year making music, because freaking I was all thinking like, man, it's gotta be like this, it's gotta be all perfect. I was doubting even my skills of making it and everything, but I ended up trying to tell myself in the end, if you don't put it out there, you're never gonna know if people like it or not. You can't just sit there and just think about it like, hey, they're probably gonna hit it. And well, here's the thing: if you accept the reality that some people are gonna like it and some people won't, then freaking you'll know what to expect. That's really how that goes. Never really had self-doubt. I get anxiety. Do it fast. I feel you there, man. Friggin' it. And there's nothing wrong with being paranoid and all that stuff. Sometimes people are paranoid for a good reason and all that stuff. So don't ever exclude yourself and think like, oh man, freaking something's wrong with me and everything. There's plenty of people who probably have paranoid. They're probably like the smartest people in the world, and they have paranoia about something and everything. I'm pretty sure one of the smartest people in the freaking world probably thinks that he's probably paranoid that freaking all the powers that be and everything just want to freaking harvest all of his knowledge and all that stuff and then use it for their own gain and all that stuff. You never freaking know. But hey, it's valid, It's valid. But yeah, so just having that lack of confidence and everything has really hindered me from really doing a lot of good things in my life and stuff. It really prevented me from I would basically say, yeah, it's been the sole cause of me not achieving my dreams and all that stuff in like the time span I really wanted it, because I wanted to achieve my dreams in my freaking 20s and all that stuff, and all because of self-doubt and of course getting wrapped up with freaking couple drugs and all that stuff and everything. It basically kind of put all of my energy into a different location and all that stuff, rather than actually putting it towards my dream and everything. And because of that, a whole lot more people got like freaking way ahead of me and all that stuff, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was like, damn, like if I would have just kept working instead of just like smoking weed all freaking day, or just, feeling self-doubt in myself and everything and actually putting the stuff out and everything, then freaking I probably would have been somewhere by now. But nah. But sometimes I can't really be too hard on myself and everything. That's one thing about self-doubt and everything, is you can't be way too hard on yourself, man. You just have to realize that during the time you were in a different mind state. That's all. Like, you got, like, all these, like, young cats that make music way better than me and everything, I tell you right now and everything, the reason why they're able to freaking achieve their dreams right now and they're only, like, 24 years old and everything is because freaking ever since they were, like, 16, 17 years old, that's literally the only thing they've been doing is just that. They never went out Like, they probably went out and, had a couple drinks with some friends and everything, but they never, like, delved into any drugs or anything like that. They never freaking, uh, they never did anything that hindered their freaking vision of their goal and everything. And that's the reason why they were able to accomplish it by the time they were 24 and everything. Me, I can honestly say, when I was freaking in my 20s and everything, the only thing I was literally thinking about was literally just learning music theory and, of course, getting high and shit. That's literally, like, the only thing I was thinking about. So, for me to freaking look back at these people and try and feel envious and everything about, or feel some self-doubt in myself and everything about, like, oh, man, if I would have just been focused, if I was 20 and everything, then freaking I would have been somewhere by now and everything. It's like, well, freaking what were you doing when you were 20? Well, I was learning how to do music, but I was also getting high all the time and everything. All right, well then, while you were doing that, freaking these guys were actually promoting their freaking shit. They were in the studio all day and all that stuff. They actually learned some shit while you freaking went out and just had fun. You had different priorities then. So that leads back to the whole comparison problem that I've been having and shit. I can't compare myself to them because freaking I didn't do what they did when I was younger. All that matters now is that, hey, now I have a definite goal and I have a definite vision. So now I can actually, put that shit forward and everything now. Like, I now have a clear vision of what I want to do and I've been working on it every freaking day. But I can't help sometimes and everything when it's like, every time I do put something out or when I do show it to other people, I can't help but feel like, man, like, this is probably not gonna go anywhere. It's that self-doubt and everything, and that's just because it's a muscle. Think of like your faith and your beliefs and everything like a muscle and everything. The more you keep exercising it and the more you keep repeating it over and over again, you're gonna end up believing that shit. Think of like all of your beliefs in the world and everything. It's just been constantly repeated and punched into your head and all that stuff over and over again. So that's basically what I've been doing for so many years is I've just been pounding a whole bunch of freaking self-doubt in me to the point where freaking no matter what I do, even if it's a cool ass freaking thing I did, I still freaking don't see it, man. I still don't see the awesomeness in it. Everyone around me is telling me that's awesome and everything, but I'm literally looking at it like, nah, there's something wrong with it and everything. And that's just that self-doubt, man. And that's why I say, man, you can't let it get to you, bro. This is just coming from someone that's been doing it to himself for years. You don't want to go down this path, man. You don't want to go down that path of beating yourself up, thinking you're doubting your own skills and all that freaking stuff, man. You have to constantly like keep telling yourself and everything like you can do this shit, bro. Like I have to constantly look at myself, look at my discography, man. I have to constantly look back at my discography all the way back from when I first started, just to look at myself now and go like, bro, look how far you've gotten, man. Like, yeah, you may not be Virtual Riot level, but hey, look at how far you've gotten, man. Like, you know how to do shit that you didn't know how to do 10 years ago. Heck, even 5 years ago. There's stuff that I know now that I didn't even know then. And I'm grateful to have learned about it and stuff because it actually helps me get closer and closer to my goal and stuff. But during that time when I was just self-doubting myself and everything, I didn't see that. All I saw was just, brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. Every time I was trying to learn something, I just couldn't learn it as good as the other people could, so I ended up doubting if I could ever do it. And that's possibly one of the reasons why it takes me so long sometimes to release some music and everything. And I'm pretty sure every artist goes through this type of self-doubt where they literally just think like, man, like I'm putting out good work, but I don't know if it's going to resonate with anything and stuff. And they just got to put it out there and just, hope that it does something and everything. Hope that it actually connects with somebody. But definitely how I've been overcoming self-doubt recently is just constantly being, I know this is going to sound pretty hippie and all that stuff, but one of the best things you can ever do when you're self-doubting yourself is just to be more grateful of how far you've come and stuff. You know, when you're about to doubt your skills or anything like that, you just got to look back at yourself and everything and look like, hey, I got this far with what I've learned. So, I mean, I'm doing something right. You know, it may not be at the same level that you want it to be at, but every time you do it, you get closer to it, man. And every day I make sounds and every day I make music and everything, I feel myself getting better and better, even if it seems like I'm doing the same shit over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Even though it seems like I'm doing the same shit over and over again, there's certain techniques that I'm trying out that I didn't try out before, and it turns out, and if it works, it ends up being a part of my workflow and stuff. Same with freaking games and all that stuff. Like, if I really love a game, I'm going to freaking stream that shit till literally the end. But yeah, don't ever freaking doubt what you can do, man. That's one thing I could definitely say. If you definitely know for a fact that you got that shit inside of you to really push yourself forward, make your goals happen and everything, then you make that shit happen, bro. That's something I keep telling myself every day. It's really hard, especially for someone who's been saying a bunch of negative stuff about himself for a long time. It really is pretty tough when it comes to having to remind yourself about being grateful for how far you've come and everything. But just taking that few minutes out of your day just to go like, yo, like, I used to be like this, but now I'm like this. Like, that's enough to really, like, instill some vigor in you and everything, and instill some hope in you that, yo, I got everything I need. I got everything I need to make what I need to do happen and stuff, you know? So definitely, I'll definitely end this podcast by saying, you know, if you ever do feel any kind of self-doubt, just always look back at, you know, how far you've come and stuff. Especially if you're an artist and everything. If you first started out making the wackest freaking melodies in the world and everything, and then 6 years later you're making the dopest shit ever, you just have to keep constantly reminding yourself that, you know? That, hey, you know what? Freaking 6 years ago, I couldn't make a fucking beat. 6 years later and everything, I'm making beats every freaking day, and now they're buying shit from me and all stuff. They're buying my beats and all that stuff. Or even if you're like the greatest hairstylist in the world and everything, if you're the hairstylist in the world and everything, don't just doubt your skills because one day and everything you messed up on one type of style and everything. Everyone's gonna make those mistakes, you know. But the more you keep doing it, you're gonna become a master at that style. That freaking everyone's gonna pay you big bucks for it because they know you can do it well. And I honestly have to constantly remind myself with this about streaming and everything. Like, yeah, I may have made some bad connections in the past and everything, but as of now and everything, there's been a good amount of people that have come by, and they've really shown their love and everything. They really show, like, they truly care for my growth and everything, and they want to see me win. You know, just as good as I want to see them win. You know? I don't ever feel like there's a competition between us and everything because, you know, we both want the same thing. It wasn't like that with the other people I was with and everything. It always felt like a competition just to get people's attention and stuff. But now I really don't have to worry about that with people like, you know, you, Jason, people like Grudy and the Keith Queens and stuff. Like, all these people, they want me to win, and I want them to win as well. You know? And we always keep picking ourselves up every day and stuff just to make it happen, man. But definitely, I appreciate anyone who's been listening to the podcast. And if you've been watching and chilling in the stream and everything, I also appreciate that as well. I'll end this podcast by saying that your mental health is your greatest asset. So always guard it with your best of your abilities. And you can basically do anything that you put your mind to as long as you have the faith to do it, man. But until next time, guys, I'll catch y'all on the next podcast. I'll see y'all on the next one. Hope y'all have a great night.